to call to order the regular meeting of the Woodbridge Board of Police Commissioners. Tonight's February 10th. It's 6:16 p.m. First order of business is approval of minutes. We'll start by approving the minutes. Oh, no, we can't even,
Well,
we
you
can't.
can do the 13th of January.
We do 13th of January.
No, because I wasn't, I was only by phone.
Oh,
You were
that's
only by
right.
phone,
That's
that's
right, we
true.
can't.
So
We have to wait.
we'll defer on
minutes.
approval of minutes. And hopefully
Again,
Commissioner Coppell will join us and we'll be able to
Yep.
take care of that part of business.
Great, thank you.
Yep. Second agenda item is public comment or correspondence. Janice?
There's none.
None. Given so, we will move on to a review of reports. And turn to you, Chief, on the financial report, please.
Okay, so for the financial report, some of the same funding lines that I mentioned last month, they all continue to be challenging for the same, pretty much the same reasons that I've been previously reporting. But just those, specifically, those lines are the police overtime line. Now we're at 120%. Dispatch overtime is at 91.3. Data processing is at 103. And vehicle repair and maintenance is up to 98.5. As is repair maintenance to machinery and equipment. But with that said, overall, we've completed the first 7 months of the fiscal year. And overall, we are where we should be at this time. We're at 55% of the budget expended. So nothing new to report with that. That's all I have for the financial report.
Well,
Off comments?
when do we hit burnout with, on this overtime? I mean, guys putting in a lot of hours.
Right.
I mean, at some point in time, it's gotta begin to show.
Yeah, it's definitely taking its toll. I'm sure they can account for it. Taking its toll on morale and just staffing, being short. So, understandably so. Got to keep moving forward until we can fill those positions.
And that's proving to continue to be a real challenge, not just in Woodbridge, but across the state. We understand.
Fortunately.
Rock and a hard place kind of moment here for us. Other comments or thoughts on the financial report or questions? Nope.
Motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
And the activity report.
So moving on to the criminal side of that, amongst the incidents listed in your statistical report, some things of special interest that occurred last month. I'll just highlight for you. We had still with the larceny of some of the motor vehicles. Us and surrounding communities are still experiencing some of those. They slowed down somewhat for us, but we did have a few. They occurred during the overnight hours at a vehicle parked in a residential driveway of a residence on Route 67. And then also we had some incidents that occurred during the daytime hours from vehicles parked in businesses located on Broadway Road and also on Route 69. Stolen motor vehicles continue. We had two. One occurred during the early morning hours from a business parking lot located on Amity Road. That vehicle was subsequently found abandoned in another area of town here. And a stolen vehicle from a neighboring community, I believe was stolen out of New Haven, was found abandoned on Route 69. Then the only other highlight was we had several thefts from mailboxes. It's a rash of mail thefts that are occurring not only here but in the area. Suspects are stealing from residential mailboxes as well as free standing USPS mailboxes, and they're taking business and personal checks that are being washed and altered for different amounts. So Our department's been handling initial complaints. Investigative Services will be following through with the Postal Inspector's Office, and they're working on that. And we also put out a media release to the public, letting them know that that was going on, and to share some tips as to raise public awareness of what's going on with that.
What's it take to get one of these safety boxes from the post office to the town hall?
Yeah, they do that, and they do change them. I don't know if they do it based on the number that occurred from a certain time. It's hard to pinpoint that. It's like some people are saying they mailed it at town hall, and some are saying they mailed it at other boxes too
Yeah.
in town. And they changed one, I know, down the business area to that.
They changed one. They changed the one on AMA Road.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
they changed that one.
right, but you know, we know things have been mailed at this post, at the box out here, but we don't know for sure that they were taken from there.
Sure.
But, you know, people are suspecting that because that's where they mailed it, but it could have been from there, it could have been in transit, so. But that's up to the postal inspectors, but they're aware of all the ones we had, and what the people are telling us where the point of origin was with those, so. Some
But this
criminal
seems
arrest.
to be a national problem. I mean,
Yes,
this is not just
absolutely.
local. I was
And
reading
we've
in,
experienced it, then it slowed down, and then we had a few last month, and now it kind of subsided again, and hopefully, you know, that'll be it for a while.
I
Some
was
criminal
reading
arrest.
in the Consumer Reports, this current month's issue, and so a lot of good information around scams and frauds and things, and this was one of the highlighted issues. And they talked about a solution being sort of wash-proof checks with certain different markings on them and notations. It would seem that the banking industry is going to have to step up and
Yeah.
solve this problem
Yeah, right now,
for all of
they're
us.
not doing too much. Except they make good on it, except it takes you a long time to get your money back.
Yeah, yeah.
Right now, the best thing you can do is to take your mail and go to the post office.
That's what they're saying.
Drop it off inside. Don't put the red flag up on your mailbox. Don't use these mailboxes around here. I hate to say that, but just to be safe, I would, if you could, drop it off, you know, inside the
Well, that's,
post
my
office.
wife went there today. She went down to the post office. She doesn't,
Yeah,
she'd drive over to here. She's down. Out the notice came out, she just goes down there, she has to, checks the mail, she'll go down, put them in the post office.
Hey, Chief, a question. Internal function, what exactly is that?
Could be different tasks that we have, administrative tasks, if somebody's called off the road, or say to, like today, we had to bring one of the new cars to get graphics on that, so we pull them off the road, but document their time as an internal function for doing an administrative related task. A bunch of reasons, but that's one from today anyway. Some criminal arrests made by our personnel during the past month. We had a town resident was arrested for harassment-related charges and misuse of the emergency 911 system following an incident that occurred on January 7th. New Haven man was arrested for larceny charges associated with the theft of a vehicle from a Route 69 residence. That car was ultimately recovered in Wallingford, processed for forensic evidence, and after an analysis of that at the lab, they were able to secure an arrest warrant. Patrol investigated 2 separate family violence-related incidents, which resulted in arrests. And after their investigation into 2 separate motor vehicle accidents, arrests were made of the offending operators. One involved DUI and motor vehicle charges for an accident with injuries that occurred on Ansonia Road, nearest intersection with Cross Hollow. And the other arrest was for evading responsibility and motor vehicle related charges in association with an accident that occurred on Penrod Road, near Fairgrounds Road, where the operator had fled the scene. And then as far as investigative services go, they assumed 21 new investigations during the month of January that consisted of 4 case investigations and 17 pre-employment background check investigations. going along with the dispatcher applicants and police officer applicants. Some of the recent cases, they assisted in the attempted theft of a motor vehicle from a Route 69 establishment, which was, ended up with the suspect vehicle being located in New Haven. That was also a stolen vehicle and was tracked and recovered in New Haven. They've been, like I said, they've been working with the postal inspectors on these mail thefts. While participating in the Regional Stolen Car Task Force, they were involved in a firearms-related arrest of a town resident, and they served arrest warrants for a suspect determined to be responsible for a prior stolen motor vehicle case, and that misuse of the 911 system that I spoke about. Additionally, they conducted 13 public fingerprinting requests and performed background investigations for 4 pistol permit applicants. And that's all on the criminal side, and the deputy will share the traffic activity portion.
So with regards to the traffic side, our officers conducted 73 motor vehicle stops during the month of January, which was a 6% decrease from December, in which 78 stops were made. Officers were assigned radar speed enforcement on 319 different occasions and deterrent traffic safety patrols on 316 occasions. During the month of January, there were 38 motor vehicle accidents, which is a 73% increase from December's numbers. A further breakdown in the accidents, there were 7 with injuries, 31 without injuries, and a majority of the accidents occurred on Amity Road, which there were 7. Peck Hill Road, there were 5. Rimmon Road, there were 4. Our speed trailer was deployed on Newton Road and Rimmon Road in the vicinity of number 75 and number 334. Sergeant Pedalino conducted a traffic study on Newton Road, which he had just completed. I don't have the results of that yet, report yet, but for next meeting, I'll have some information.
Welcome, Hank.
How you doing, buddy? I want to tender my apologies to the commission, the chief, and the deputy. It appears this is 6:15, and I have it down at 6:30 for this year. So first thing I do when I get home is correct the calendar for the next 12 months. My apologies.
Thank you.
But we are so glad you joined us,
We're happy-
Hank,
we're happy
because item number 1, approval of minutes,
We'll go
we
back.
have not been able to do
Right.
without your presence
Sure.
as a stalwart in attendance, so thank you. If there are no questions for the chief or deputy around the criminal activity or motor vehicle related statistics, I first look for a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. So let us now go back to the very beginning, the approval of minutes. And I would seek approval of the minutes for the regular meeting of November 18th. And for that, we need a quorum of the 3 folks.
Yep, 3 of you, except for Andy.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
And now a motion to approve minutes of the January 13th meeting.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all.
Great. We're up to item number 4 on our agenda, which is the report from the chief.
Yes, I have 2 items. The first one is an update on the center building renovation project. So, as you know, back in 2022, the Board of Selectmen established the center building renovation committee, which myself and Commissioner Esposito were members of. The charge given to the committee was in part that we work with an architect and an engineering firm on plans and pricing to upgrade and convert the entire center building complex into a modern space for offices, classrooms, programs, and a modernized police department, and then to present the findings of the board, of the commission, of the committee to the Board of Selectmen. So we had numerous meetings over 3 years, the past 3 years, just about. And after that was concluded, it came up with an estimated pricing that to accomplish the entire project of the entire center building, that came to somewhere in the area of about $41 million.
Yeah, $41 million.
Or plus. So the committee's charge was further amended in June of 2024 to explore the probability of constructing a new police station within the proximity of the town center. So that's where we are now with the status of our facility. Last month at our budget presentation, I stressed to the boards of selectmen and finance that the dire need for the renovating or relocating of our facility, and reminded them that the size and condition of our building is something that's been repeatedly studied, talked about, and it's been determined to be in need of expansion and renovation. But year after year, and honestly decade after decade, it's been put on hold for various reasons. Space needs assessments, renderings, and recommendations were done specific to the police department in 2009 and 2012, and then just again during this most recent committee, and as part of the overall center building renovation project, it was studied again, but still there are no imminent planned renovations to our facility. I invited all the board members from the Board of Finance and Board of Selectmen that were present that night to stop by and see the condition of our, our work conditions here firsthand, and encourage them to work together to come to some sort of a solution to institute this long and overdue project. A few days after that, the deputy first selectman and the chair of the commission on the use of publicly owned property, they did just that. They did come in and viewed our facility, and that was just prior to their January 27th QPOP meeting, and on that they had PD site review as one of their agenda topics, so they came here first to view it. I did go to that meeting as well, and I shared those same concerns that I just told you that I shared with the other boards, shared it with them, and I also stayed there as they discussed several possible town-owned property locations that might be feasible, potentially for further research, should the town decide to move forward with the construction of a new police facility. It all contingent on what direction they want to go. They want to renovate this, they want to move to another location. The first selectman was also at that meeting, and he was in agreement that our facility obviously does need renovation or relocation. So I'll keep you informed of any future next steps or developments that come up, but I just ask for your impetus and your support in having some definitive action taken to address the lack of space and to improve the working conditions for the men and the physical conditions of our aged facility, because we talk about it, and everybody's looking for some kind of action of some sort going forward to bring us forward. So I just ask that you do the best of it.
If we had acted on the two plans we had, total cost then would have been less than $6 million. To redo all this area, to do what? The upstairs, half of the upstairs, then down was less than $6 million.
And what year was that?
2009 to 12.
Yeah, twice.
And here we are,
Kicking the can down the road.
kicking the can down the road, and as we kick the can down the road, the cash register just continues to ring, and go up and up and up.
So it's very encouraging that the deputy first selectman and the head of the QPOP came to visit. So kudos to you for making the case. People really need to see what's going on. The finance committee, and the selectmen most specifically, as the ones who hold the the purse strings and are the key decision makers on this. As Andy's reminded us, this has been going on much too long. And our failure to act in years past has only resulted now in our being further behind the eight ball with an economic bogey that's going to prove hard to get to. Feels to me like there are a few things that as the commission we might be in a position to do, one of which is just to reaffirm with some kind of note or memo to both the the selectmen and to the finance committee, reaffirming the points that you and Ron made at the budget presentation. That's certainly easy enough, and hopefully more folks will come and actually see what's going on.
Maybe we should have a formal open house and invite, and have the Board of Finance and have the boards that, people that are really gonna make the decision makers come the way, invite them to an open house.
Andy, the selectman mentioned that he's gonna invite them in, the full board at the next board meeting on the 12th. The selectman board, and then the finance board after that.
Yeah.
So that invitation
Well, I
is,
mean, I think it's important
yeah.
they take a walk through.
But I think the other thing that's also important is to reaffirm to both those bodies
Absolutely.
that aside from, let's get with a more permanent solution, the things that need to happen even in the short term, the things that have been presented as some of that appear in the budget, some of the capital expenditures, as well as some of the just renovation of the locker room, as an example, are things that we need to really, even during tight budget times, make clear that the police commission, police force has been patient and cooperative and a team player in tough times, but this is beyond what makes any good sense for the town, for the citizens, and is just not fair for what's going on for the entire force.
Of an interesting note, South Central Chiefs of Police Association, they were looking for a facility to host recertification police training. So it was decided that they were going to have training here. So officers from many different police departments now this week are attending training here. So these people are working with state-of-the-art facilities. They're coming here for the training. This is the room that we're using. Those are the bathrooms that they're using.
Because
If
this
it was
one,
your- if
you
it
can't
was-
use this one
Right.
because it's,
You can't use this one, you can't use this one. Those bathrooms. It's really embarrassing. I don't want to come out of my office to be seen with the other people walking down the halls. It's how embarrassing the facility is.
Yeah, no, I just don't think the community fully appreciates all of the day-to-day issues that the team is having to deal with because of the lack of being able to really get behind this in prior years. And we join you in doing everything we can to put this front and center for the town. It's clearly overdue.
All right, thank you for that. And the next topic I have is, concerns Woodbridge Animal Control. So Woodbridge Animal Control many years ago had been a division of the police department, and its operation and its employees fell under our supervision for a short period of time, for a few years. However, back in 2013, it was removed from the police department, and its control and supervision was assumed by Town Hall administration. And that's how it's remained for the past 13 years, and that's how it is presently today. The first selectman has expressed that his desire and intention moving forward is to return the operations and supervision of the animal control back to the police department, with the end-all goal being to optimize and improve its operations. So he and the town administrative staff have met and discussed this with the deputy chief and I. And I just want to make sure that you guys, that the board was also aware of such an event that you had not heard. Just to give you a little history, I guess, in many municipalities, their animal control division does indeed fall under the control of the police department, while in some other instances, they handle it on a regional basis. Currently, here in Woodbridge, in addition to serving our town, Woodbridge Animal Control also serves the towns of Bethany, Seymour, and Beacon Falls. They have a staff of 2 full-time animal control officers and 2 or 3 part-time employees, and they operate out of their facility and their kennel that's located down at 135 Bradley Road. The overall concept of putting animal control back under the auspices and supervision of the police department, it absolutely does make sense, and I'm in full agreement with that. But also, with that said, we need to recognize that doing so will be a big undertaking for us as well, especially as we continue to struggle with staffing and administrative challenges due to the funding reductions that have resulted in the elimination of multiple positions for our department, those 3 positions that we were cut, and then couple that with our current vacancies and the limited pool of applicants, so we're having trouble filling even the vacancies that we have. So although the specific details and the associated logistics of the proposed transition still need to be worked out and finalized, I strongly feel that it's imperative that the police department be provided with the adequate resources to enable us to do the job professionally and appropriately. We have no problem doing it, we just want to make sure we have the resources to do it right. When it all shakes out, I think it'll really be a good move, but we need to get all our ducks in a row prior. So as I said, I just want to make sure that you're aware of the proposed plan and keep you informed of any future developments as they progress. Go from here.
Well, do they have a budget?
They do. They have a budget, and because they get funded by those 3 other towns that I mentioned, that budget will be managed by, it's being proposed to be managed by Town Hall, by the finance director, because there's monies coming in from all different
Do you know what the budget is?
No.
Okay, how many employees, how many
They have,
officers do they have?
they have 2 full-time and I believe 3 part-timers.
And how big a facility, that's a new facility, right?
No, it's the same one, but it's been
I
remodeled
mean,
somewhat.
it's been upgraded.
Yeah, yes.
Have you done an estimate of like how many additional hours you guys will be expending to oversee that process, or will it be
We
a lot
have,
of work?
yeah,
or-
this has all just been in the planning and,
Okay.
talking and sharing ideas and thoughts of how to do it, but the total planning and logistics haven't been worked out yet.
Hopefully it's
But we've
not
been
too
discussing.
much of your time.
The deputy's been involved in it a lot.
Yeah, I've supervised the animal control in my farmer employment for about 15 years, and it is quite an undertaking. It's something that, needs direct supervision. There's, you have to deal with the courts, you have to do thorough, comprehensive reports, arrest warrants. It's just like, very similar to being a police officer. It's almost like supervising another precinct or a little division or
Right.
something. They have to purchase food, we have to pay for animals, they have to come out for wildlife. There's things that all have to be done, all have to be documented, approved. Because the town can be, easily embarrassed by, people love animals more, very much so. They love animals. And when something happens, we have to make sure that we're doing what's right with supervision that, is, very, direct.
And do you guys have a plan for that? Is that part of the process to decide to do this?
If it comes to the police department, there'd be really no other way to do it. Because once it becomes a police.
Right, but since you're understaffed now,
Yeah, well, that's the issue.
it's gonna add,
That's the challenge.
right, more problems,
Well,
resources.
we would have, I speak for myself. I would want to see, if we're going to even entertain this, I would like to see a comprehensive plan of how we're going to manage it. and what the requirement is gonna be, personnel, if you're gonna be running it, is it 20% of your time? Is it 50% of your time? Is it 10% of your time? Now, depending, that time taken away to do that, it's gonna be taken away from what you're doing now. So, I mean, we need to see a plan that fits into what we have going on here now, which means short staff, no people, unable to hire any officers. You got 3 openings, I mean, so,
And now you're taking on more work.
and we're gonna take on more
That's an
work.
issue, yeah.
Question, in 2013, when that was last under the department's direct supervision, what was our full staffing approved level? Right now, we're at 23.
26.
26.
I think that point is a really important thing to be presented to the Board of Selectmen.
That's exactly
Because
right.
I think we're in a situation now where physical plant needs major improvement, staffing needs significant re-improvement, and now this is on the table too. So, just my 2 cents, I think should be a point of discussion for where the department is at overall. We want to support you all the way, and this may be a good thing to take on, but it doesn't seem like it's really feasible on
Well,
present staff.
If we get the proper resources to do the job, so you can do the job, it's fine. But if it's just gonna be another thing dropped in our lap, and here it is, guys, go work it out, you know, I don't think I could approve that. Or I would recommend that you even do it, at this point in time anyway, because you have other issues you're trying to resolve internally.
So that's why I wanted to bring it forward to make you aware of that.
So I think one thing that occurs to me, Chief, is, and I know in discussion with Andy, the sense, myself as the chair and Andy as the vice chair, is that as commissioners, we hope that we can be involved in this kind of discussion at its earliest inception, to be, in fact, by your side and supportive of this, as opposed to having something be sort of dumped in your lap. We appreciate the comments of it might be the appropriate place for supervision. We appreciate the team spirit that the leadership from the police commission, the police officers, in accepting the challenge. But as you've heard from all the commissioners here weighing in on this, there are so many other challenges that exist. So it would seem that one possibility is, even though we have submitted a budget, presented the budget, it's still not too late to resubmit a budget. And in that, to be able to put in an ask for the administrative support, whether that be an administrative support that comes from town hall, beyond just the dealing with the finances and the budget, but rather the heavy lift of actually supervising 2 full-time, 3 part-time employees, and all of the attendant procedures, protocols that need to be developed and worked on, and then the oversight of all of that. So that might be something that we would urge you to consider doing in terms of a budget resubmission. Absent that, I suppose another thing that the commissioners might do to demonstrate the support is to have a memo of support that we send to the first selectman and the entire board of selectmen, explaining the challenges that we see here, the hardships that are going on, the difficulty of the budget as it currently stands, and making it clear that we expect more help and support from them one way or another, whether it be budgetary dollars or whether it be staffing to help support that.
I think that's an excellent idea. But I pose a question to the chief and deputy. What, if anything, would be the optimal support for the department to take on this administrative supervisory function? Another police officer, another administrative staffer, or do you have any thoughts on that?
I think we have to increase our staff to where we were, or close to it. I mean, probably at this point, from where it was studied back 20 years ago, it was 26. But we have to at least get to there, and that would enable us to have more people that we could assign someone, assign a supervisor as another task to do that. But right now, we don't have someone to do that, so it's going to fall upon the deputy chief and myself. And, you know, quite frankly, both of us we've already taken on a lot, and with all the new responsibilities that came along with police accountability and everything else and going on, you know, we're doing our best to keep afloat. But this would be, like we said, a big undertaking, so we definitely need more staff with that.
Have you developed a plan, or are you gonna develop a plan and submit it to the Board of Selectmen, how you're gonna take over? Have you been asked
Well,
to?
we're going to have to, we've just been in the talking stage about it.
Oh, you
so
are,
we'd have
okay,
to-
so that's
yes,
a bit
there's been a few meetings about it, but we haven't
Okay.
come
But
to
you will
any
do that at some
definitive
point.
plan. If something's going to have to be done, but I will reach out to them, to town hall tomorrow and tell them, you know, about what we talked about tonight, and,
Right.
you know, maybe a budget resubmission, and which way we want to go to help us facilitate making such a transition. It's going, if or when it happens.
Right.
We just want to make it a smooth transition and an effective transition, but that's what we're working towards.
And on the monthly statistics, you know, the couple of line items about animal complaints and animal deceased and dispatched and animal sick and rabid, that's a small potatoes part of what that's what you already are involved in.
Right, those are some
not-
things
not-
that we respond to.
Right,
and
but
the
that
officers are
doesn't
responding
speak to
now.
the
They-
new acceptance of workload.
The
that-
administrative side must be amazing.
Yeah.
You were talking about 2 or 3.
Ron, you've already had the responsibility and you've already done this when you were in Hamden. Now, if we're gonna assume that responsibility as a department, what do you think we're gonna need?
Well, I mean, to do the job appropriately, first, you know, you have to have, you know, direct supervision of the animal control officers to know where they are, what hours are they keeping, are they going out, this is, you know, a tri-city, tri-town animal control shelter. You have to coordinate with the other towns if there's a case that's going on in Seymour and having to use a different court system. There's reports that they're responsible for reports, that if there's a roaming dog, would be a report. Right now, there's not a report submitted. There's going to be a report for an animal bite. They do those, but a lot of times they weren't even using case incident reports. They're writing it on a notebook pad. I mean, we have to start from scratch. You know, barking dogs, you know, the first time maybe we give a verbal, the second time maybe we have a written warning system, third time maybe we give an infraction. You have to do these things, treat these things, you know, very professional. What these animal control officers could be going to a house here in Woodbridge where there's a dangerous potential felon living there. They don't know they're going to this house. They're not coordinated with the police department because we don't know where they are. So they're going to handle an animal complaint, but there might be there might be an alert to that house. I mean, there's a slew of things that need to be buttoned up. And then the money part of it, you know, adoptions, receipts, you know, an audit, is everything being done, you know, correctly? Wildlife, you know, bats in houses, bats carry rabies. Are they coming out to take bats out? You know, these are incidents that, you know, things that you have to think about that, you know, is that a service that, you know, we need to do? Because if a bat's flying around in the house, your pediatrician could say, hey, you know what? You don't know how long the bat's been in the house, we need to, you know, euthanize that bat. someone's gotta get hands on that bat and send it to the lab for, there's things like that that can happen, that these type of protocols that aren't in play, policy has to be written. I mean, it is a big undertaking.
Now, if we're doing Bethany and we're doing Beacon Falls, do they also have ponds in those towns? Where are the animals, or do those animals
They
come
come
down
here.
here?
I can-
Seymour
They all
also.
come to here.
Yeah, they're all have a contract with the town.
They all
So
have
that's where all that other funding comes in that the town manages.
So again, they bring them here.
Correct.
So it's
So-
Seymour, Bethany, and Woodbridge? In Beacon Falls? So it's four altogether, including us.
So that, the animal complaints that you see listed there, that's just things that our staff
Officers
here
respond.
responded to, it, a
Right.
dog got hit or whatever, deer got hit, something like that. But, that, no reflection of what
What
animal
you're
control
about
officers
to
do
take
for-
on.
For all four
Exactly.
towns, yeah,
Yeah.
that's totally, that's their separate record keeping.
Well, it sounds like there's a strong sense from the commissioners, chief, supporting or going back to have this conversation with first selectman and administrative officer in terms of the concerns we all have, some of the suggestions you've heard from us in terms of potentially a budget resubmission or having them join a little bit in the conversation of, so how are we gonna get rationally from here to there? I know you and I had a chance to chat a little bit about this, and when I asked when was this supposed to be implemented, it was sort of a today kind of thing. That doesn't seem realistic. I would say that between now and July 1st, or the time that the budget is approved, is the time to be sorting through all this stuff, developing the policies and procedures so that we have a smooth transition to being responsible and being prepared to be responsible. And perhaps we can continue this both offline and certainly at our next meeting. Is there anything further that we can do to be helpful to you guys in terms of this, understanding full well your effort to try and be responsive to the town's needs and as I say, being team players with other parts of town governance?
Right. No, we'll reach out to them tomorrow and keep you updated as to any developments.
We
Accept the chief's report.
have a motion to accept the chief's report. Been moved, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
And I think we're up to some personnel matters.
Okay, the first one we have is approval of degree pay. So Officer Pat Meehan recently completed studies and was awarded his Bachelor of Science degree in Criminal Justice from Charter Oak State College. He's provided us with the pertinent school transcripts and therefore he's due to receive the associated 8% college incentive pay increase. As his degree was conferred to him on December 31st of 2024, I seek the board's approval to grant his pay increase that would be retroactive to that date. So we would need a motion from you on that.
Motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you all.
Just an update on our extended absences. We remain with just one officer. He's still on an extended workman's comp-related injury that I've previously reported to you. As of last week, his return to work date continues to remain uncertain pending further medical evaluations and workers' comp and insurance reviews. I talked to the assistant administrative officer, finance director. We had a discussion about that just last week, trying to get an update from them of where they're at. That's all being handled on the insurance and workman's comp right now. So nothing further to report, but as soon as we hear more, we'll let you know. And personnel vacancies and updates, so two categories there. So as it relates to patrol, so recruit Matthew Perez started training at the police academy on January 17th, but unfortunately during the past 2 weeks, he's encountered some challenges while he was there. And this morning he returned to the police department where he's submitted his letter of resignation to the deputy chief and I. So that position creates another vacancy for us. So that we're back to where we were. That currently leaves us with 3 remaining patrol vacancies to be filled. We've had a small number of applicants that we've been vetting and doing background checks on. We continue our participation in both the Connecticut Police Chiefs Association and the South Central Criminal Justice Administration's ongoing recruitment and testing process. Once the candidates receive their scores, they're able to apply to various departments. So we're hoping to have some candidates as we move forward. I did talk to the director of South Central Criminal Justice just this morning. They gave their written portion of their test just this past week, so the oral portion of that is coming around the next few days. So there'll be some candidates from there, but he did share with me that once again this year, this testing process, they had a very small pool of applicants, even to sign up, and several didn't show up, and so on and so forth, and who knows who's going to pass. So that pool, as we've been discussing, remains limited, so hopefully we could move forward with hiring despite all that. And as it relates to our dispatchers, we have that one dispatch position opening that we've been advertising for. We're in the process of pre-employment background checks, and actually tomorrow, it's been, a bunch have been vetted, and we're down to just a few. The deputy chief and I will be meeting with them tomorrow morning, and our hope is that after they finish with us, we'll have one or more viable candidates to present to the personnel subcommittee in the next couple weeks, with the goal of, at our next month's meeting, having at least one or hopefully more to present to the full board to make a selection for consideration for hiring, so we can move forward in getting that filled. And that's all I have under personnel matters.
A little bright spot on the personnel side.
What kind of spot? Anything?
Well, then we may well have
Hopefully.
a dispatch candidates.
Too bad about Perez, though.
Yes,
You
yes.
can just go to
We
budget.
could- Yeah. Next item is update on the budget, following the presentation that you guys made.
Yeah, so last month, as you know, we made our budget presentation for upcoming fiscal year. Both capital and operating budgets were done the same night. As I mentioned, part of it, I did bring up the building conditions as we just discussed. But we also brought up and stressed our concerns regarding the importance and necessity of increasing our staffing levels to enhance operational efficiency and to ensure the safety of the community and our officers as well. So thank you to Commissioners Westfeld and Capel for their attendance and support at the meeting. And I just want to let you know that remind you some upcoming dates. April 24th is the public hearing on the preliminary budget, and then that's followed by May 19th, the annual town meeting. Both of those are at 7:30 p.m. and as of now, I think they're scheduled for the Center Gymnasium. I think during the next several weeks, as you know, the Board of Selectmen will be making their review and see if they want any amendments to that. And then they'll present their recommendation to the Board of Finance for their consideration. And that's all on the budget for right now.
Any questions for Chief on that?
Nope. I'd like to thank Hank and Chris for, writing them night reports, keeping the rest of the commissioners updated that we're under the weather. We'd appreciate it.
Yes, yes, thank you.
Thank
No
you.
problem.
Our last budget item is needing to go into executive session, so I'm going to ask us to turn off the cameras. Now out of executive session, and no votes were taken. It was just an update. So I think we've concluded the full agenda for the regular meeting, and I'd take a motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we are now in adjournment of the February 10th Board of Police Commissioners. And now I'd like to open the Woodbridge Traffic Authority for February 10th at 7:13. Janice, have any public comments or correspondence?
We have none.
No. And Deputy, any updates on traffic matters?
Nothing, we did get a couple of complaints on Ribbon Road, which we've taken care of with the speed trailer, and we've increased our enforcement in the area of like 334 Ribbon Road and lower numbers. Also, Newton Road, there was a complainant that resides in the Newton Road area, and we're doing a traffic study. So that's just been completed, it was just completed a few hours ago, so I will have some results very soon, probably within a few days.
So are there any from prior traffic studies and some of the citizens who come to make a case about the concerns in their particular street or neighborhood? Have we moved forward in any way with any traffic calming measures that might be appropriate based on what we've learned in traffic authority or in the advisory group?
We're still trying to, Chris Dickerson shares that,
Yes.
and he was trying to convene a meeting for that, and he actually just reached out the other day and said somebody's out of state with the holidays and so on and so forth. There's only 3 of them on that committee right now, so he said we'll try to get one in the near future, but he did
Okay.
extend his concern that he wasn't able to get it set up in time. And I've tried to have some answer before this meeting, but he said he'll get it done in the near future, so hopefully at the next meeting we'll be able to share that with you.
That would be great. Good. Well, hearing no other,
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second?
all in favor?
Okay, thank you all.